Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. This article that I have here for this video will use the same weasel tactic of calling anyone who does not support the plan be something like a traitor. So even if, let's say, under the plan, the economic plan, and the support of Ukraine and self-sanctioning themselves, the European countries, even if the Germans in this case have a worse standard of living, they pay more for this, they pay more for that, their children obviously will have less. If they dare to criticize and say maybe supporting Ukraine like we do, maybe it's not a good idea, or it's time to take our toys and make sure that our children play with our toys, that we build them, not those guys over there. You have the mass media who will start calling you names. No, Putin's apologists, or maybe operatives, that's exactly how they're called, or traitors, or names to try to make you run, not to debate. So you have to accept the status quo, even if it's detrimental to you, even if you disagree with that as a free individual. The whole thing starts from, if I'm free to talk about it, and I should be free to pursue my happiness. Well, how can I pursue my happiness when I see that my happiness is infringed, and you tell me that if I fight to open my opportunities for my happiness and my family, I'm somehow called this and called that. That's not the way things work, are not supposed to be anyway. Otherwise, those guys are the tyrannical government, because they're over there to make sure that my life gets better, not worse. And if I try to make my life better, you call me names, and then who knows, maybe you investigate me, maybe you arrest me. Well, this is the direction Germany goes to. Because I stated, if Germany starts yapping against this nonsense in Ukraine, then things might be a little bit more difficult for the Americans to continue their unrestricted reign in Ukraine against the Russians. So this article comes from Fox News from January 4th, 2023. This is the title. Putin operatives trying to turn Germans against Ukraine war. So in the very beginning, if you do not agree with the Ukraine war and the policy and the script, there's something wrong with you, something negative, and you must be eradicated. This is what I see so far. So pro-Putin operatives. Now, to be a pro-Putin operative, you have to be proven. You have to be shown, you have to be investigated, you have to be charged with it, you have to be convicted with that. Because if you've been an operative, they have to provide you evidence that, hey, he spoke with him, gave you on this day these orders, they participated, they did this, they signed together, I'm your operative. Otherwise, it's just an assumption. An assumption. So if I say, I don't like, this Ukraine war anymore, I want it to stop, I want the support to stop, I want to stop. There's no other alternative, no other justification that I am a Putin supporter? Yes, that's basically what these guys are saying. Without any evidence between these two. It's just that they don't allow. They immediately, you're with us or against us. That's a tyrannical way. So anyway, democracy my ass. Pro-Putin operatives with connections to the Kremlin have joined forces with fringe political movements in Germany in an attempt to push Europe's largest economy away from its support of Ukraine. That is like saying all Germans agree with that. And there are these little troublemakers that are on Putin's payroll, and they try to disturb our utopic help for Ukraine and our beautiful life that we live in Germany. And those bad dudes are trying to disrupt that. I mean, you tell me so far this article, it's it's directed not towards people below 86 IQ. I think below 55 IQ. I know toddlers. I mean, even if you like, say, let's say in the first grade you have some questions. Excuse me. And I'm quoting: we must stop being vassals of the Americans. Right-wing German politician Markus Beisicht said at a rally in Cologne of over 2,000 people that was aimed at pressuring Berlin to break away from its support of Ukraine, according to a report by Reuters. So this guy, I think that Germany is the vassal of the United States, militarily and economically, and is a foreign policy. What is it? It's too obvious. It's too obvious. I mean, I spoke about this many times. It's too obvious. I mean, you don't shoot yourself in the foot like an idiot with Nord Stream 1, Nord Stream 2 to create a crisis in your country because you want it. Remember who pushed that? The Americans. Who has troops in Germany? The Americans. Do the Germans have troops in United States of America on the California coast defending from the west flank of NATO against the Chinese? Of course not. So then what does that tell you? Among others. And then it's a right wing. So if you're right wing, you don't love your country or something. I know the right wings are the ones with are patriot or nationalist, the bad dudes. So you're not supposed to love your country, you're supposed to love someone else's country, and those guys living in that someone else's country cannot love their country, they have to love your country, so they don't show patriotism towards their country. It's so stupid. So the Germans cannot show, hey, I'm a patriotic, I'm a nationalist, I love my nation. No, you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to love other nations. More than yours, possibly. And then those nations cannot love theirs, so they don't show nationalism, and they love my country. So I love your wife and your kids, you love my wife and my kids. Okay. Well, I do not subscribe to that kind of craziness, okay? But you have the right to do it. The report said Beisicht is one of the several people working inside Germany for friendlier relations with Moscow amidst Russia's invasion of Ukraine. That could be interpreted not only friendlier relations with Russia, and I don't see why not. It's just because what happened over there is your masters over there. But let's say, how about cares more about the German people than you guys care? Tries to get cheaper oil. All of a sudden, it's an umbilical cord between Ukraine and Germany. Since when? Yeah, since 11 months ago or so, 12 months ago. So those joining Beisicht include pro-Putin operatives who have been linked to Moscow and factions of German far-right movement, including a former Russian Air Force officer, formerly known as named Rostislav Teslyuk, who currently in Germany under the name of Max Schlund. So they're connected, they say. They made a connection. Okay, I don't know if they're connected. And if they're connected, what does that mean? Are they traitors? No. Because if they're traitors, they would have been arrested. Did they do anything illegal? No. Putin operatives. You know what the operative is? If I work for you, I operate for you. That's what I am, and I am by you on your payroll. That's an operative. Anyway, I think that in this case, they write about far right, obviously the bad dudes, and then they love Putin and all that. It's as always. My concern is only this: as a German, Germany first. That's what I would care, and then other countries if I have time. If I have the resources, if I have enough love. And do not make links and connections that are not there between, if those guys fall, we're going to have the Russians at my door. Okay, that's bullshit. There's no evidence to support that, and I don't think the Russians want to take on NATO. Do they? Do they? All right. If NATO would be afraid to face Russia, would not support Ukraine with everything that they support. They're not afraid. They just avoid. But if their interest comes, yeah, they have to do it. So yeah, all this support, they say, we got to support Russia so Russia doesn't come over. It's a big stretch of nonsense. Nonsense. But hey, people believe it. You got the mass media. You have the strata of the society. There's the cowards, always. And those people will do anything their mommy and daddy tell them because they're still teenagers. They're still children. They need someone to tell them what to do and to protect them from the world. Those are people who like to have a cushion job, the ones that don't want to take risks, the ones that don't want to strive better than that and harder than that. Those people. And they try to limit our opportunities as well. Why? Because that creates anxiety in their lives. They like certainty. Too much certainty. I like certainty. But I don't like certainty as a slave. Right? I don't like a certainty as a weasel. I want more because I know I can more. I can do more. These guys don't even care. They don't care. I have the TV, click, click, give me the beer or whatever I eat. Stay in my little room over there or wherever I stay in my little house. Have electricity as much as the government. Please give me. Don't take it from me. I will do anything you want. I will keep my mouth shut. I don't have values in that way. You know, I will not fight for anything. I'm not going to be anywhere. But in the meantime, I vote secretly if I can. So I can't be held accountable for my weasel vote. All right? That means cowards. But that's the way we are. What can we do? You develop that. As someone said, you can't make from 100 cowards one courageous guy because you can't. You can just turn them in. Guess who that was? Anyway, thank you very much. He was not German. Yes, he was German, but by this guy's definition nowadays, he was an Austrian. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.